Mind blown. I just did one of our director patrols where we go and check up on businesses and things like that. And there's a new pawn shop that opened here. And so I went in to go check out the stuff that they have because that's one of my things to do. I'll tell you what, pawn shops are way underrated. Not so good if you have to sell to them, but buying, I mean, you can get some great deals. So if you don't shop at pawn shops, you should check it out. A lot of cool stuff there. Anyway, just talking with the guy, start talking about the area, the neighborhoods. All of a sudden, he drops the name of the elementary school he went to. I'm like, I went to elementary school there. He's like, really, what grade? So then we start talking, and it's funny to think, you know, over 30 years ago, like there's certain things you remember, but certain things, like I could remember names, like they were at the tip of my tongue, but then I couldn't. So I ended up calling my mom while I'm in there because I knew she would remember some more of this stuff, like some of the teachers and things like that. And I went to 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade with this kid. Like at the very end, started to remember a few things about each other, like key things that brought it back, even though I still don't specifically remember him. You know, like again, I remember those basic things. Like he used to draw a lot. You know, I remember this kid who was a really, really good drawer at that age. To think 30 plus years later, you just run into somebody that, you know, so have you with the 3 years of elementary school with. And for some people, maybe that might not be as big of a deal, but where I went to elementary school was like you had to have a ride there. It wasn't like a zone type thing or whatever. So it was nowhere near where I lived. And I didn't stay friends with any of the people from that school because after that, when I went to middle school and high school, it was where I was zoned for. So it was completely far away from where that elementary school was. And I met a totally different group of kids and things like that. And I don't have Facebook or mess with any of that sort of stuff. So I have no way to really keep track of these people from like years and years and years ago. But I mean, crazy, just crazy how small a world it really is. And like he still knows some of these people and talks to them and things like that and remember the names. So that was a pretty interesting director patrol that I did. All right, next call I'm headed to is titled a trespass. This is occurring at a McDonald's, and the notes say that a former employee who was just terminated is refusing to leave. So that's it. Don't know anything more than that. We'll head there and find out what's going on. How you doing?
I asked her politely several times to leave. She's one of my employees that we just, you know, letting go.
Okay.
She refuses to, so I asked her like several times to leave. I'm asking you politely, you need to go. She refuses to, make a big scene, curse, and I don't get it. And I think if you don't leave politely when I'm asking you to, then I'm going to have to get you trespassed. There's really one other way.
Okay.
You know? I'm not going to pick you up and get you out.
Right. Okay. That's her.
Here, so just
Okay.
do a trespass.
Has she said anything of why she's not willing to leave or doesn't want to leave? Or?
And give it crap.
Okay.
Well,
Alrighty.
thank you.
What's going on?
Can you not look at me, please? Like, this lady has been harassing me. I come in here, not doing nothing. It all started with her not putting me on the schedule. So I came in here to ask her, why are you not putting me on the schedule? I work here. I haven't worked in a week and a half.
Okay.
And I'm sitting here like, why are you not? I got bills to pay, okay? I need money. So she's like, well, do you want to have a conversation about it? You're supposed to come in, this, a whole mix-up or something. And then she starts getting attitude, talking about, oh, you need to drop that attitude. And I'm like, I'm not doing nothing. I'm just asking why I'm not working.
Okay.
Then she's like, get off the premises. You got an attitude. You're being disrespectful. I wasn't doing nothing. I left talking to her and came and sat back here and told her to leave me alone. Repeatedly. She keeps on harassing me. She won't tell me why I'm not working. She won't tell me why she's not putting me on the schedule. But
She told me that you were terminated. She says you were fired. That you don't. I don't know. But that's what she just.
But she didn't tell me nothing.
Okay. Nobody has contacted you or told you that or anything like that. Okay. For the sake of argument, I'm going to go ask her to see if I can get you an answer or have somebody get in contact with you. But according to her, that's where things stand. So,
I've never,
you know, okay.
I've never heard nothing. She came up to me and said, get off of this premises and da-da-da-da.
Okay.
And if you don't get off, then call the police. I told her I'm not doing nothing.
Okay.
And I'm allowed to stay here, yes?
Yes, but just like I'm sure if you worked here, you know if there's somebody that they don't want, if they can refuse service to anybody they want, so regardless of whether, so if she asks you to leave and you don't, then you get trespassed. Okay, let me just try and find out about that. Well, again, that part is irrelevant. She's saying it's because you're already terminated and there's no reason for you to be here. So let me figure that out and then we'll go from there, okay? Just for the sake of discussion of, you know, while I'm talking with her, she's claiming nobody's ever told her that she was actually fired or terminated. As far as she knew, she just...
I said, you don't come in for your shifts, you don't work here now.
Okay, yeah, she's saying that she just wasn't being put on the schedule for over a week.
That's why
that,
she wasn't on the schedule. She never came in.
So there were a few shifts that she didn't show up for, and then...
All the documentation's there, everything's on our part.
Does anybody, though, I mean, just for formality size, does anybody ever call the people or talk to them and say, hey, look, you're terminated, as opposed to, like, because in her mind, she's coming here like, hey, I'm not on the schedule. Coming back, why am I not on the schedule? Like, nobody ever just told her flat out, hey, you're fired. You don't work here anymore. That's why you're not on the schedule.
The last shift she was supposed to cover, she didn't come in for.
Okay.
We good temps, you give them a call, they don't answer the phone.
Okay.
You can't sit there, go to their house, so they don't come in. So when she came in, she asked, why are you on the schedule? I'm like, well, I took you off the schedule. You never came in for your shift. I mean, that's
right.
why. And so I said, if you want to discuss it, we can sit down right now.
Okay.
You know, because she didn't come in.
Okay.
So, I don't know. It's all clear through the supervisor's company already knows it's not, you know.
Okay. Well, so just a suggestion. I mean, obviously, I don't come here every week for this or anything, but...
It was a sweet and simple thing, but she didn't want a discussion. That's why when she started getting loud and started cursing in front of the customers and making a big scene.
Right.
That's when I said, look, this discussion's over. Like, we're not going to discuss this anymore.
Right.
And she kept continuing. And then I said, look, now you got to leave. You got to leave.
10-4.
You know, you can't continue to act like this.
Right. And I agree with that. My suggestion would be in the future, if we run into situations like this, if somebody is taken off the schedule and the intention is, hey, you're off the schedule because you don't work here anymore, when they ask, instead of just saying, hey, you were taken off the schedule, hey, because you didn't show up for these shifts, you were terminated. That is why you're no longer... She's saying that she was never told that. She, in her mind, she thinks, hey, they're just not scheduling me. Like that maybe I'm being punished, I'll be on the schedule next week or whatever, like that. You see what I'm saying? Of maybe just making it very black and white of you were terminated. That's why you're not on the schedule.
What that was today.
Okay. Did you tell that to her? Or okay, she's saying that nobody did or whatever, so.
That's why I said, if you're going to continue to have this attitude, I can't continue to do the explanation.
Okay.
I can't provide you any more instruction because she was just cursing up a storm.
Okay.
That's when I finally said, you know what, then this conversation's over now.
Okay.
I was just going to make it sweet and simple.
Okay.
You have to schedule to get working.
All right, fair enough. Now, let me ask you this again. You know, she is under this misunderstanding and trying to figure it out and whatever. If I clear that up with her and she leaves, are we good, or are we doing a formal trespass? Okay.
Because I can't trust that she's already made threats say, well, I'll just come back up here. I'll just come back. So to me, that just shows that even if you cleared up right now, that she's not mature enough to just leave it alone.
Okay.
So I'm just going to be done with it.
Perfect. Just bear with me for a minute. So what she's saying is, I guess there were a couple shifts that you didn't show up for. That's why you weren't put on the schedule anymore. That's their policy. Basically, that was the quote-unquote termination when you came in today. And when she said, hey, I'll come talk to you over here about it, is when she was going to tell you, hey, this is the deal. This is what happened. She said that's when you started to get kind of loud and lippy. Okay. And then at that point, she, ended the conversation. That was that. So, all right, look, here's the deal. They want you trespassed from here. They don't want you back here anymore as a customer, period. Okay. I mean, obviously there's a million McDonald's in the world. You're not in any trouble today. This isn't anything that goes on your record. It's not anything like that. Basically, it's an internal document between them and us that you've been officially trespassed from here. It'll be listed in your information, and our system is here. So if you do come back and they call us and, hey, she's back on the property, at that time is what's called trespass after warning. That's when you would actually catch a criminal charge and you'd be arrested for it, okay? Do you have any questions about that? Okay. All right, with that being said, I'm done with you. You can head on out about your way now. That'll be it. All right? I appreciate you being cool with me. All right, guys, so I always do this, and I have no idea how well the audio comes out. The one lady, the manager, is obviously talking really soft, so I don't know if it did or not. Long story short, this girl was terminated. She didn't show up for a few of her shifts. In my opinion, the store didn't do a really good job of explaining this. They just didn't put her on the schedule anymore. And she comes to work not on the schedule, asking why she's not on the schedule, and gets a little lippy with the manager. And the manager basically just didn't even want to deal with it. So nobody ever really told her she was fired. That was the deal. I was able to explain it to her. They wanted her officially trespassed, so I'm sure you heard me explain to her. It doesn't go on her record or anything like that. It's a formal warning. If she does come back, that's when she gets in trouble. So now I'm going to do the fun part, finish up the paperwork for this, and that'll be a wrap. Alright, so the call I should be pulling up on here in just a second came in as a lady being thrown down by a male, but then we got a call from the male half, and this is a known house, and apparently this lady went on a crack binge and is flipping out, so we'll find out what happens. Hey, my man. Alright, does she live here?
No, she lived out there with me, and this is her mom on the phone. We've been trying to get her. That's her coming out now.
Okay.
She on heavy medication from directions, and she been drinking.
So what's the issue? Does she not want to be at the house right now?
She
or
left yesterday.
Okay, you haven't seen her since? Okay.
Until I come down here now, and one of my friends, he told me that she was up in there. I've been looking for her. We've been looking for her.
Do you know these people? Are they friends?
I know this one here. None of them are my friends.
Let me talk to her real quick and find out. Hey folks, how you doing?
Good, you doing?
I'm here to see you. Who's that? Is he a friend? Your dad, your uncle, a boyfriend?
I ain't my dad, my uncle, nothing.
He's nobody to you? Do you live with him?
No.
You don't live at the house he lives at?
No.
Why would he tell me that? So what's going on today?
I don't know.
You don't know? Just chilling?
We ain't messing with nobody.
No. Nobody's in trouble. His concern is for her is they disappeared yesterday and he hasn't seen her since and found out she was here. And so we're trying to find out if she's okay or not.
Yeah, she okay.
You're okay? How old are you? 35? Okay. Why don't you, where do you live? Okay, well, I know you don't live here. That's why I'm asking. Where do you normally live?
I want up in here.
Who is she to you?
She's my fiance for 5 years, man.
She won't even tell me. She says he is nobody to her. She says that she's staying here, that she doesn't live with him. I mean, I can tell that she's a little off, but not like, you know, totally cracked out or anything. So, I mean, she's 30-something years old. Well, I mean, we can if she's a grown woman, you know. She's not making suicidal statements. She's not.
She made a suicide statement to me about killing herself. That's why I've been watching her.
When was that?
Tuesday.
Okay, that doesn't apply anymore. We're talking about the here and now. You should have called us Tuesday.
Of course, she ain't gonna say nothing here and now.
Well,
I told her she said I got a permanent directions. I said, well, call them earlier so you can go see them earlier if you're feeling like that.
Right.
That's why the concern, man. If
I
she
mean,
came around here and she drank like that, I don't know what happened. If anything happened and no action be taken, then who's gonna be responsible?
that's on her. She's an adult. I mean, what I would suggest if she has a working history with directions is contact her counselor, whoever there that's monitoring her, and say, hey, look, this is what's going on, and see if they're willing to issue a Baker Act on her based on their working knowledge of her. She doesn't meet the criteria for us based on our interview with her. I can't force her to leave. I just asked. She just told me that you're nothing to her. You know what I mean? She says she doesn't live with you, that, you know.
That's what you say, Tina? All right, I bring all your here. Y'all have it.
All right, Tina, you're staying here? You don't need any help? You're fine? Okay. You don't want to hurt yourself? You don't want to hurt anybody else? Okay. So you're just done with him? Is that the deal? Fair enough.
All right.
All right. All right, so I assume you guys got the gist of that or heard most of it, but one of the things we run into with a lot of these calls is they come in with the caller's point of view on it. And then when we get here, there's obviously another side to this story, and it's usually the complete opposite of whatever the caller tells us. Long story short, based on the interviews, their boyfriend and girlfriend, he claims she's the fiance. They got into an argument the other night. She went for a walk, never came back. Ends up with these two dudes. They're more than willing to take her in and let her stay here, and that was that. So I don't know if he was completely sincere trying to talk about the mental health and, oh, she's on medication and she shouldn't be drinking, and that's why this is all going on, because in my time talking to her, she seemed fine. She seems like she's just over that guy, doesn't want to deal with him, and, you know, you heard it at the end. He said, all right, you guys want her, you can have her. So that's how that one wraps up.